Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Last Caretaker Masterclass for production of babies. So I am going to start from basics, and it will get harder and more complex towards the end of the video. So bear with me, because this is actually not that easy of a process. Because it looks easy, it is not easy. You can actually control it very well. Number one thing that you need to know about these pods is that they are bugged, okay? So, when you grab a baby from one of the seed panels or pods or anything, they have this timer on them. For example, I only have 1 hour and 33 minutes, then the seed will fade into nothingness. The thing is, when you put this thing inside here, it should actually start getting filled with water, so this timer stops, but that doesn't happen in the game. So, number one thing, after you put all your 4 little babies inside these incubation chambers, is you run to this location in the left side of your place. You press this, you do this, save, complete. Okay, thank you. You exit the game. Yes, you have to do this. If you don't do this, they will not stop, or you have to stop producing. Even if you produce, most of the time the babies will not start growing, so this is a process. Yeah, early access game, man, no can do. It's a lovely game, but we have to put up with some of the bugs. Now that we're back and everything is reloaded, they work as supposed to. See, they are filled with gas. Baby turns into human pod inside of it, so there is no timer anymore. But see that? See that thing? See? Now it has another timer of its own. So, in case you just want to restart this and have that timer on and on, that's what you do. Yeah. Yes, that's how you do it. And it'll reset it because, well, you need a lot of time. Anyways, now we will get to the bread and butter of this thing. We have 2 things to consider. Number one, memories. These are the things that you will be collecting from everywhere inside your world. They give different stats to your babies, and stats for babies mean different jobs. So for example, let's say you have a guard. The guard has to be high, like 180. These are not real numbers for game. I'm just making an example. The guard needs to be, for example, 180 centimeters, and he needs to be over 70-80 kilogram and a little bit of muscle. Plus, he needs to have communication skills, and he has to be strong, and he has to have a little bit of leadership, so on. See, those are the requirements for a certain job that a baby has or will have when he grows up. The system of baby growth works that way. And what are you doing, mate? Yeah, this is bugged again. These are not connected. Yeah, because I loaded and reloaded. Now these are dead. Yeah, I'll have to do this. I'll do it. I'll do it. Give me a second. Let me finish this section. So, after the memories are actually characteristics of your baby. Nutritions are his physical form and his biological, let's say, state, growth, and so on. So you use the memories to give them characteristics like empathy, patience, adaptability, leadership. As you can see, like under these in the description says 10 adaptability for first aid. Then there's 5 focus for meditation book. Then there's discipline and communication if you give him the plans, and so on and so forth. Or usually these are the most that you will get, like empathy with the teddy bears. They got a little bit nerfed. Teddy bears used to give like 5 empathy, but now it's like 3. There's other type of teddy bears too. But well, these used to be 5. A lot of stats got nerfed and boosted, so feel free to, even if you are experienced in the game, have a look at the stats. They have been changed a little bit. And for the nutrition, what are nutrition? Those give him the characteristics. These give him, look, height, intelligence, life expectancy, weight, and strength. So some of the jobs that are in the list for the babies have requirements for physical form, and at the same time they have personality characteristics. For personality, you use the memories. For body and physique and biological stuff, you will use these things. For example, look, plus 50 height, 50 intelligence, 10 strength, 40 life expectancy, and weight. Genesis, ultimate Genesis, is the best thing that you can find and actually use. This one, and it should be, give me uno momento, yes, this one, Neutral Boost. These three are actually like the ones that you will need the most. So Neuro Boost, then there's the Ultimate Genesis, and there's the Mitochondriac Surge. Like, these three are enough for making almost all of the babies, so you don't need the other ones. But if there's like too much intelligence requirement on a baby, just use a nanite infusion. See, like, I haven't used these, that's why there's like 20 nanite infusions here. The most used are Genesis, Mitochondriac, the Neuro Boost, and high fat, because most of these high-end stuff do not give enough fat, and some of the babies need so little physical boost that it's actually bad to use these. But this is a tip for your all gameplay. Kill every single shark that you see. Use electric rifle, use whatever you want. Throw yourself at them. I don't care. Kill every single shark that you see, or you will not have enough nutrition for making any kind of progress in this game. So from the moment you leave your #1 base, do that. Okay, let me fix the power problem here. I'll be back and we will get down to the real business. Well, sadly, after the patch, a lot of there are disconnections in these conjunctions, so most of the time that you reload or come back to a station, the cables are disconnected. So after you actually connect these thingies, this timer should completely stop. Okay, see that 2 hour that's not changing? Yeah, that should not change at all. Okay, then now we are getting to the good parts. So whenever you come to this panel, you will see quite a few things. Let me grab the nutritions, everything, grab everything. We're gonna go and do some business now. Very slowly and gently. We're gonna be spending the rest of this video inside this screen, by the way. Spoiler alert. Okay, so #1 thing that you have to know is that there is an option here called the human. When you open human, there are traits, category, you can also press J and actually filter these things so they don't get, like, you can filter them the way you want them. So you don't have to do that. And when you press this human section, this place opens. This atrocity of baby types with different professions. And what are they? Each of these actually have a tier level, okay? So some of these jobs are harder, some are very much easier to produce, some are just absurd. Like Star Child, if you just put 1 memory here for Star Child, you have a Star Child. You don't even need to give him anything, intelligence or anything. You just need to make him 20, height, a little bit of fat, and a little bit of a muscle. That's it. Then there's, like, for example, this Mission Seeker. Look, a Mission Seeker's minimum requirements are like 90 years old, 35 creativity, 40 adaptability, 30 focus, and like 90 years minimum life expectancy. You can go higher and give them more value, but the value system is not working right now. It will probably be implemented in the next patches, but if you look at these right now, if you have never produced a baby before, you will see something like this. The thing about this game is after you make one of these things, the stats will actually appear to you. There is a link in the description of this video that actually tells you the stats of some of these things, but I will go over the stats that I have because these are actually a little bit more accurate than the ones on the list. So at the end of this video, I will just come back and show all of this list so you guys can actually stop the video or write them down or look at them. But for example, now let's actually go to the worst of the babies. The Door Jammer baby. Let me find the Door Jammer baby. Door Jammer baby. Door Jammer baby sucks. So we're gonna be making a Door Jammer baby. Every baby, by the way, every job has one stat that actually is the principal stat of that baby. Sometimes it will happen to you that you will actually start this process, but during that process, for example, here it says that you have 100% chance of giving birth to a door jammer baby. So we're making the door jammer baby. He is gonna be strong. So let's put one strength there. Now he needs weight and height. We're gonna give him one ultimate genesis, so he's like more heighty, more longer. He is longer. Okay. And we're gonna give him some fat. So, see, the minimum requirements are now there. But look, because of the stats that I've given him, see, because of these years, life expectancy, because these are the primary stats for these jobs, see, visual technician, room supervisor, station roamer. These have primary stat as life expectancy. But look, if we add more strength, these are some jobs that have strength as their stat priority. So then the possibility or probability of these start to go up. The only thing that is left for you to do is give them the other minor stats. And if you pay attention, even when the primary stat, like this is very intelligent from the developers, I love that they did this. Look, when even the primary stat is the same, for example, like strength in these two, look, adaptability, creativity, focus, discipline, leadership, focus. So if you, for example, want a door jammer baby, you need to give him discipline, leadership, and focus. But if you make the mistake, because adaptability and creativity are not in the door jammer baby. So if you give him creativity, there's a chance that, look, let me, for example, give a little bit of each of those. Wisdom, logic, no, wisdom, leadership, no, actually guitar will be, yeah, creativity, focus, communication. Okay, there we go. See, now he's missing only 2 adaptability, but if I give him another one of these, look, now both of them are there. Now, see, if I want the baby to become a station roamer, these are not the, this is not the way you use these, by the way. I'm just talking about how to complete these and actually micromanage them. Look, now I gave him creativity, focus, creativity, communication. Now he can either be a visual technician, a door jammer, or a station roamer. How do I set this up now? If I want a visual technician, if you give him empathy, he will become a visual technician. If you give him discipline and leadership, he will become a door jammer. If you give him adaptability, for example, as such, there should be one that gives only adaptability. That's adaptability and logic. These are actually very powerful for a baby this week. Yeah, 10 adaptability. Look, I add that. The baby is definitely going to be only door jammer, because I gave him enough stats to meet the minimum requirements for the door jammer baby. But now there will be times if you, for example, mix and match and just add random stuff to a baby like this. Let's go. Let's just give him whatever that comes our way. There you go. Yeah, let me give you this. I'm gonna give you another guitar. Get one of these. Get one of those. Now, the stats that I'm giving the baby are a mess. Look, he has focus, communication, adaptability, leadership, wisdom. So, the baby has no idea what he wants to be. Now, what will happen here is he is either going to be a station roamer, a door jammer, or maintenance engineer. But that is not how this works too. Every baby has a tier. Door jammer is almost a tier 0 baby. So it needs, like, look at the stats. Like 12 discipline, 6 leadership, 25 focus. At that point, when you begin the process, this machine will feed these memories and nutritions to the baby. So when these stats are met, he is going to become a door jammer. But as the machine feeds the other stats that are there to it, for example, when the adaptability hits 52, the strength, hits 67, the creativity hits 9, and the focus gets injected in, he will evolve from a door jammer baby to a station roamer baby. So if you do not stop the process or take out these things out of the, let's say, the incubation chamber, the baby will automatically nerf and shift from a door jammer to a station roamer. And let's say you gave him even more stats. He is gonna become a maintenance engineer. But if only you know what the main stat for maintenance engineer is. For example, how can we control that? There, we have to look at actually the stats required for a station roamer. Look, these are the stats for a station roamer. The highest ones, look, adaptability and strength and life expectancy are the main stats for a station roamer baby, okay? But now, if I want a maintenance engineer, you have to look at the difference in primary stats. So, how can I change this door jammer baby from becoming a station roamer to a maintenance engineer? Easy peasy. Find the primary stat and just take it out of here. Look, life expectancy does not matter to this guy. Take from rec. Solved. He is definitely going to become a maintenance engineer just because that is the only one that is hitting 100%. That's it. See? Easy. But now he has a weight problem, so gobble up. Gobble up. Gobble up some of these high fat. There you go. Now, maintenance engineer, definitely going to be a maintenance engineer. That's it. And because he's missing 2 strength, he can never become a station roamer now. See? That's how you solve him. You need to actually differentiate between the stats or the main stats that are here. So, for example, as I said, when you have 3, 4, 5, you can have this like up to here, by the way, when you have like very high level. When you're making tier 3, for example, look, these are tier 3. Like the more stats you go, like neurolog, let me see actually which ones I've made. Yeah, look at these stats. Existential expressionist, 120 creativity, 80 empathy, and 60 communication. This is one of the big things that you guys are actually like feeding the there's a legendary book that gives 100 to every single one of the baby's stats. When you feed that to a single seed, the reason why you keep getting this guy, where is he? Guardian of Humanity, Governor. The reason why you're getting those governors is because of this. Let me see. Station Protector, Engineer, Field Teacher, Growth Guard. Governor? Where are you, Governor? And Guardian of Humanity. No, not this one. What was the other guy's name? Wait. I can't find him. Where's Governor? Oh my god. Either I'm blind or I'm just blind now. Oh, Logistic High Command. Yes, Logistic High Command. Yeah, the reason why you're getting the Logistic High Commands for every time you're feeding it is because this guy needs less patience. See? But this needs less discipline. So, because you can't actually take 20 out of this discipline thing here, if you don't control the height, like see, this needs 200 height, this needs 220 height. The only way for you to get an existential chancellor and not a logistic high command is not hitting 220 centimeters. So if you make him 200 centimeters and 120 kilograms, you're gonna get an existential chancellor. But for getting a logistic high command, you will need to give him 220 centimeters and, well, you can't do anything about this. You have to feed him logic then. But yeah, the harder these gets, the more and the higher the stats will get. So you need to actually be very careful about the stats that you're feeding. Because, for example, the lab technician, see, like the difference between this baby being a choice of 4 between all of these and actually, like, because lab technician is actually higher level than these. If I now give this guy a single one of this that gives 25 height and intellect, look, now mayhem starts. So, what he's gonna be, he is most probably going to be a lab technician, because, look, none of these have intellect as their main priority. So, if you want to produce a lab technician, you just give this little thing to him. And he will evolve door jammer, maintenance, basic supplier, station roamer. Then, when the machine actually feeds him the nanite infusion, he will become the guy that you want him to be. Mr. Lab Technician. That is how you actually control and manage what the job for the baby is. It is long, it is a little bit complex, but if you do it a couple of times, you will do it. That's why this is called a masterclass, because in the last video I said that, okay, baby, put there, jump nutrition, jam some memories in, you will get random baby. But this is actually how that works. For example, now, let's say you don't want your guy to become a lab technicianist. I'm just gonna give more examples just so you guys can actually get it. Now, look, the primary stats for a lab technician is intellect. What if I want him to become a manual? This guy, look, has communication, has wisdom, has patience, and primary stat is weight. So, if I take this out and give him an extreme amount of that. Look. Ooh, maintenance engineer, station roamer, manual holder. Now he's missing only height. So, for example, height. Where is the nanite? Nah, not enough. This should be it. Yeah, but this is gonna make it a little bit messy because it has intellect in it. Okay, see, station roamer, maintenance engineer, manual holder. He is still missing a little bit of height. There we go, strength and some height will do it. There you go. Now he can become a manual holder. But maybe he will even become a station roamer because he has too much strength. So look, strength, life expectancy, adaptability, creativity, focus. So if you don't want him to become a station roamer and become a maintenance engineer or a manual holder, look, there is no strength in these. So, if I simply take out the strength requirements out of that, and now, check here, he is only missing height. So, if I make him longer, this should do it, but that is too much, that is overkill. Let me see. Not this. That one is very meh. Life expectancy. No, one of you had more height than anything. Where are you? Ah, this. No, that's not it. Well, let me give him just a genesis, just so we're done here. Now, this guy will definitely, by the way, become a manual holder. If you just take out the intellect, he has too much intellect now. See, now, I am dealing with what we have to deal with. So, if I take out this thing out of him... Okay, let's now see. Lab technician, basic supplier, manual holder. He is still too intelligent. He is still too intelligent for his own good, so we can't do that with this. So, for manual holder, I actually have to give him only height. And that should actually be almost enough. That should actually be almost enough. Oh my god, this height is going to be a problem here. Looks like it. Now see, like, because I have not made that guy, I am actually solving a puzzle while I am actually doing this video. Okay, let me see. What can you? Maintenance engineer. Oh, he's actually meeting the requirements for both of the manual holder and that one. But... communication, wisdom, patience. So, if I take out logic, focus, discipline. So, let me see. Logic, focus, discipline. Logic, focus, discipline. Communication is a must. Logic, focus, discipline. Okay, let me take out the focus out of him. What are my options? Manual holder and maintenance engineer is still. So... communication, wisdom, patience. So logic, focus, discipline needs to go out, definitely. Logic, logic, logic. Logic, patience. Let me see, let me see. And let's get that. That will not do it. That will not do it. And manual holder, it still needs patience. And, well, for patience, we can just do one little thing. This should give him patience, but that gives discipline. Patience and focus, empathy, patience. There we go, let's give him a couple of bowls. And it should be done. There you go. Now, because we micromanaged it, he will definitely become a manual holder. And now we have a problem. He might actually become a station roamer too. See? This is the problem with this. Now I have to take out, and you get it. I don't want to waste your time because I have to now do micromanaging, take all of this out, and put the communication, wisdom, and patience and stuff in there. And you don't need to know that and see that actually. But that is how you solving these puzzles actually takes time. So, well, you have to spend a little time doing this, or you can just check out the stats that I have on every single baby. So, let me just take these out so I can show you what you came for in the beginning of the video. So, I'll just go over the list like one by one. You can pause the video and look at the stats that you need. I have not completed a lot of these. I am just in the process of making more and just solving the riddle or the mystery behind these. So, check out the stats, make the one that we have. And I don't have these. Starchild, by the way, Starchild, just feed the thing, the golden ball, and meet these minimums, and that's it. The only reason I gave him a lot of stats was because I just wanted the coolest Starchild. So, I fed him a lot of nutrition and stats. So, this is Mission Seeker. I do not have these little fellas. I do not have that. This is Settlement Governor. Then we have the Sculpture. Then we have the Door Jammer. There you go. You can look at it. We have Logistic High Command. We have a Station Roamer. We have Field Research Scientist. We got Visual Technician. Guardian of Humanity? We don't. Star Analyzer? No. Room Supervisor are these. Quantum Engineer gets these. Professor, I don't have it. Teacher, I'm like, Teacher was, by the way, one of the hard ones to make because the stats that it needs are like very intertwined. And Neural Architect, we don't have it. Scientist, we don't have it. Health Assistance is this. Doctor is this. Then we don't have that. We don't have that. We have Basic Supplier. Then we have Zagard. Then we have Lab Technician. Then now Distributor, Existential Expressionist is these. Then we have the Existential Chancellor, which is this one, and so on and so forth. Well, good luck and happy, amazing, or problem solving, let's say. Because now, let me actually go to my committee room. Okay, give me a second. Let's go to the committee room. I can't pause the recording now. Alright, welcome to the Hall of Humanity. So in the Hall of Humanity, why we manage and we get all of those babies is because we want these committee. By the way, I have sent a lot of babies to space. It's not a bug. You need to actually not spend like, after you send a rocket, you need to wait 48 real-time hours for the babies to go to space. So I actually have 26 humans that are going to space right now. But if you look at my committees, I have 2, 4, 1, 1, 1, 2. Yeah. Some of them are still not there. So soon, when they get there, they will actually start activating. But as you activate these, like for example, when you finish the Habitat Care one, you get a quest and you go do the quest and you get the golden baby seed and so on and so forth. But looking at these tiers, you can actually know some of the tier of the babies that are needed or the jobs that are there. For example, look, deck operator, even without a manual or any guide online, you can just read this. Look. The deck operations is a tier 1 committee, so all of these are actually tier 1 fellas. But when you go to field continuance, it's like a tier 3. So these station roamer, existential chancellor, like these now need what you have to produce. For example, existential chancellor is a very high, failed research scientist is a very high, doctor is very high, station roamer is a mid tier, like tier 2. These are mixed too, like tier 2 and 3. Then when you go to tier 2s, actually like these now need tier 2 and tier 1. Ones, sometimes they can have tier 3 ones as well. Yeah, so be careful about that. And well, good luck sending your babies and filling in your committees, and hope you guys actually enjoy doing your last caretaking. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have any more questions, I know it's complicated. Just ask questions in the comment section. I answer every single comment. And thanks for the likes, thanks for the subs, thanks for your supers, hypes, and memberships. And as always, if it's not time, I hope you sleep like babies. And if it's daytime, well, I hope you have infinite amount of nutritions and memories for all of... Okay, I just broke my something here. I hope you have enough nutrition and memories for just having all of your committee members. See you in the next video, fellas. See you in the next video.